Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another NFL mock draft. Today we're just going to be doing a standard one-round mock draft. However, tomorrow my plan is to do a two-round mock draft all in the same video. Last time I broke it up, round 1 was one video, round 2 was the next video, but I'm going to combine them just into a video. It's probably going to be around 30 minutes or so. But we're just going to do a standard mock draft today, starting off with the Tennessee Titans. I just don't see this pick being anything other than Cam Ward. All signs point to Cam Ward. I think the only way this is not the Titans picking Cam Ward is if they trade down or trade out of the pick. What team's going to do that? I don't know. Number 2, I think if I'm the Browns, I'm taking Abdul Carter. There's rumors about them, quote-unquote rumors, about them trading for Dak Prescott. I like next year's quarterback class a lot better. You have Cade Klubenek, you have potentially Arch Manning, Drew Aller, Garrett Nussmeier. I think that's what the Browns and Giants are going to do. Despite the claims that they're going to take, the Giants are going to take Shedeur Sanders here at 3, I don't understand why you would sign Russell Wilson. I mean, I guess obviously it's in the present. Shedeur Sanders probably wouldn't start this year. He wouldn't start this year, and you're hoping he can learn for the future. I just think just take Travis Hunter. I think if you're in a position where you can take a quarterback next year, just take one next year. I just don't think. I think next year's draft class is better. Kind of with the Colts, they took Anthony Richardson, didn't pan out well, and next year's draft class was insane. They could have picked a quarterback, potentially. They could have traded up 4 or 5 spots and got one. Patriots here, number 5. This pick is going to be offensive line for me. It's going to be Will Campbell. I'm also going to go offensive line here with the Jaguars, but I think today we're going to be, I don't know what the theme for today is, but I think Will Campbell at 4 for the Patriots just seems just perfect. They need offensive line. You got a receiver. You cannot draft receivers very well. I would have liked for them to be a little bit more aggressive in free agency to try to get Cooper Kupp. DK Metcalf didn't want to go there. I know A.J. Brown wasn't ever going to get traded, but I think that would have been absolutely perfect for the Patriots. Number 5 here. Now, I think what we're doing today is what I think will happen, not what I would do. If I was the Jaguars, I would take offensive line. I don't think M'Bendu goes here at 5. I think Mason Graham's going to be the pick here. Just bolster up that defense. Number 6, it's going to be Ashton Jennings. I don't think there's any way it's not. I've seen the videos, clips of him lately working out. He looks like a stud. He looks ready. He looks ready. That's all I can say. Number 7 here. I think it's going to be Tyler Warren to help Justin Fields. I could see Armand M'Bendu. Actually, I'm going to go with Armand M'Bendu. The offensive line is almost ready, I think. You drafted, I believe it wasn't Talisi Fuaga. It was Olu Fashanu last year. And I think Armand M'Bendu just really, really getting that offensive line ready and set up. I'm going to try to get a little bit more, I don't know what the Panthers do. The Panthers could really just do anything. Usually it's Jalen Walker at pick 8 here. I'm going to probably just go and do that, honestly. It's a boring pick, but I think it's pretty likely. Number 9. I'm going to have Shedeur Sanders here go to the Saints. I know they're very, very interested in Jackson Dart, but if you're going to pick a quarterback, unless you're just absolutely in love with Jackson Dart, why not take the guy who's got a higher ceiling maybe? I am very high on Jackson Dart. He definitely is quarterback 3. I'm not really a big fan of Riley Leonard because I don't like his passing ability. I think Will Howard could be 4. Jalen Milroe, I don't know. I'd probably go Jackson Dart 3, potentially 2. But I don't think there's a world where he goes above Shedeur Sanders. And then Will Howard is my 4. Probably Jalen Milroe at 5. I like Curtis Rook a lot, though. I think Curtis Rook and Will Howard, if they're put in the right system, they can succeed. Like a 49ers type thing. Anyway, Ashton Jennings off the board. I would go Omarion Hampton. I just don't know if the Bears go running back at 10, especially when you have picks like 39 and 41 or 37 and 41. I think it's 39 and 41, where Caleb Johnson, Quishon Judkins, Trevion Henderson, Cam Scatterbo, even though I don't think Cam Scatterbo goes above Caleb Johnson, Henderson, or Judkins, or even Sampson. I think one of those guys is 100% going to be there in round 2. Just the pick is, who do you go with? I mean, if you didn't have Cole Kmet, you probably go Tyler Warren. I believe they still have Jared Everett. They still have Kevin Byard, and they have, I don't think, is Jaquan Brisker a safety? That's not going to keep you from taking a safety. I like Mike Green here. I really do. You have Montez Sweat and Odeo Odingbo. I love what the Bears are doing. They're finally addressing offensive line. I think they're going to go running back with one of their top 3 picks. They're going to walk out with one of their top 3 picks is going to be a running back. But Mike Green, I love Mike Green. I think he has the potential to be an absolute game wrecker in the NFL. And I love Mike Green. I really do. Number 11, this is probably just best player available. I think Malachi Starks, Jahad Campbell, Will Johnson, just something because you lost so much. I guess this could be your Hufanga to the Broncos. Probably didn't say his name correctly, but his replacement here at 11, number 12. I like Tyler Warren. I think just giving a weapon for Dak. You could go defense here. Another team that you could just Donovan Ezeraku, James Pierce, something off the edge here. Number 13, the Dolphins. You honestly could have went with either one of these two picks here, Starks or Warren. I think I'm gonna go Josh Simmons, even though did I pass on Armand Mimbu? No, he went at 7. But yeah, just need offensive line. I love Tua, but he gets hurt. He seems like he has a concussion every year, and he's out 5 or 6 games. And he came back and he played incredibly well last year. That's something a lot of people don't seem to realize. He came back and played very, very well at the back half of the season. The Dolphins are just a really weird team. Number 14, Jahad Campbell. The Colts' biggest needs are guard, tight end, even though I don't think tight end necessarily, linebacker. I love what they did in free agency. I think guards definitely need tight end, but you have a linebacker like Jahad Campbell here to fall to you. You pick him, no question. I love Jahad Campbell. 15, this is going to be James Pierce. Falcons really, really need edge help, and I think if a player of James Pierce's caliber falls to a 15, you have to take him. Although, this is going to be a stupid pick regardless, because the Falcons they overthink absolutely everything. You look back to last year, yeah, Michael Penix made sense, but what if you take, like, Jared Verse at 8? You're looking at a different situation. I'm not the GM. I don't answer these questions, but 16... I'm not very high on McMillan. I like Luther Burden better, but is there a world where Luther Burden goes ahead of McMillan? Today is that world, yes. I think getting another receiver besides Marvin Harrison Jr. I like their offense. I like their roster, and I think this is a very interesting pick here. Luther Burden, if he goes at 16 ahead of McMillan and ahead of Will Johnson, I love Luther Burden's yard after catch ability. He's an explosive receiver. Number 17. Jahdae Barron, inline, kind of slot corner. Will Johnson outside. I think you probably go with a high potential, very productive Donovan Ezeraku, very productive in college. You need something. Him on one side, Trey Henderson on the other side. Maybe you go like a corner, like Siobhan Rebel in round 2, and that's an interesting defense. I don't think Will Johnson falls, but maybe like a Trey Amos. Ooh, Trey Amos, I don't know if he'll be there at like, 47? Something like that. 49, I think they'll pick you next. This pick right here is going to be, for the Seahawks, is going to be Kelvin Banks Jr. He falls to you at 18. I don't know if he necessarily falls or not, but number 19, Kenneth Grant definitely could be a pick here, but I like Walter Nolan on the interior defensive line next to Vita Vea. Could go linebacker, and Micah Williams is really sticking on the board here. Some of these players, the consensus, like Jalen Walker, who's like down to like 36, I think. 30, I think he's like, I don't know where he is. I think he's probably 28. That are consensus to go higher. They stick off the board for me because I keep forgetting that they're supposed to go higher. Number 20. I love the why am I forgetting it? Evan Ingram signing. I really like that. And I think this is going to be either Matthew Golden, Egbuka, or Amarian Hampton. I think Amarian Hampton at 20. You're feeling really good about that pick. You really need a running back. So do the Cowboys. So do the Raiders at 6. 21. I'm trying to think about their corners. They got Joey Porter. They got Darius Slay. You could go Will Johnson here. You could go Jahdae Barron. Jahdae Barron, he's just a slot corner. I don't know if he can play on the outside or not. I don't think it's going to be Egbuka because you have... Ooh, wait a second. Actually could be. You got DK Metcalf on the outside. I actually really like this. I actually kind of like this fit. You have 2 guys on the outside, and you plug Egbuka into the slot. Who's their quarterback, though? Oh, my gosh. Who's their quarterback? Do they take Jackson Dart here? I completely forgot about Jackson Dart. That's probably the pick there, to be completely honest. Ooh. Oh, I don't know. They do seem like the type of team who would take a... I don't know. Maybe I fumbled that pick. Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. McMillan here at 20. It's either between... This next pick, it's either between McMillan or Loveland. I think if McMillan, the supposed third player in the draft, falls to you at 22, you're going to pull the trigger and you're going to take him here. Now we just have a bunch of Texas and a bunch of Michigan players on the board. 23, it's going to be Will Johnson. A quote-unquote top 5, top 10 players been sliding down the draft board. You have Nate Hobbs to play in the corner. Jair Alexander is going to be hurt some of the year just to get Will Johnson, I think. Man, Will Johnson, Nate Hobbs, Xavier McKinney and Jair Alexander along with Evan Williams. That's a pretty interesting secondary there. 24. I love the Minnesota Vikings roster. Michael Williams here. I'm trying to think who they have coming off the edge. They have Jonathan Grenard. Andrew Van Ginkel's kind of an edge rusher. I like Michael Williams here. I really do. I think you could go Kenneth Grant as well, or maybe potentially Jahdae Barron. That could be a good pick as well. Number 25. It's going to be one of these tackles probably. I think that's a pretty big need. Gray Zabel or Josh Connerly Jr. Oh, yeah, we'll go Gray Zabel here. 26. This is where I'm going to have Jahdae Barron come off the board. 27. You could go interior defensive line, but I think edge is a bigger need. And I think one of these guys from Texas A&M, I think Nick Scordon potentially has more upside. Maybe Shamar Stewart, I don't know. Number 28, I'll have Shamar Stewart come off the board here. Number 29. I'm trying to think who you lose a lot of defensive line players. I think they still have Deron Payne. They have I don't know if it's Tavondre Sweat from Texas last year. They took him no, it's Jerzon Newton, the guy who was like supposedly the 8th overall player in the draft, fell into the 2nd round. Tavondre Sweat went to the Titans. That's Jerzon Newton from Alabama. Illinois, the guy I'm thinking about. Could go interior. You could get younger at tight end. That could be a very interesting pick. I don't think they go receiver. They sign a lot of receivers. Could it be defensive line? I think the Bills 100% go defensive line. Interior. Alec A.O. Manor. That's a receiver. Matthew Golden could be really interesting, though. You'd have a ton of guys there, though. I'm going to go Kenneth Grant. I just think that makes sense. 30, we're going to have Derek Harmon come off the board. Interior defensive line. Joey Bosa, Greg Rousseau. I love the getting rid of Von Miller. I don't think he's signed yet, actually, for Joey Bosa. They're both injury-prone players, but when they both play, I think Joey Bosa's still got a lot left in the tank. I don't even think he's 30 yet. 31, Josh Connerly Jr., no question about it. And then 32, going to be something on the D-line. I don't understand why people say they're going to take receiver in round 1. I think defense is a bigger need, especially when you have Dallas Goedert there. Ooh, no, it's not going to be a skill position. I think it's going to probably be Darius Alexander. You got to replace Milton Williams. You got to replace, quote-unquote, Mekhi Becton. Josh Sweat's gone. Milton Williams is gone. Yeah, just get something on your interior defensive line. That's all I got for today. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and I will see you in the next one. Please subscribe if you made it this far, definitely, and I will hopefully get a 2-rounder out by tomorrow. So I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.